All right, here we are. We're meeting at a very, very special place, and we're going to imagine that we have the kitchen table in front of us. This is Esther Turner with Mindful Mondays, and I found this great opportunity to talk to an individual that has my heart and soul right in the beginning because I found her through dancing and I love to swing dance. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But I have with me here today Bobbie Thompson. Hi, Bobbie. How's it going?
Hi, Esther. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be with you today.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm happy that you are with me here on the fly today because of the simple reason I know that you have this incredible schedule, and so it was like I gotta snag her when I can. And normally, when I see you, we're at one of the swing dance station activities, which are a lot of fun, along with the dance lessons. And so, right away, I'm thinking about, well, how did this all come about? I know it's a year old, but how did this all come about?
Yeah, we just celebrated our year anniversary in November. So, my friend Caroline and I were going down to one of the Rockford swing dances pretty regularly every month for over a year or so. And we were thinking how nice it would be if we just had more opportunities that were closer to home in the Rock County area. And we were looking around and weren't really finding anything. So we decided, wouldn't it be fun and exciting if we started our own swing dancing group? And so we were kind of talking with some of the other more seasoned instructors and dancers and just kind of getting some ideas from them and seeing, what it all entails and all of that. Right about that same time, we actually were part of a new church plant here in Janesville, and we had acquired a new church building that we were currently renovating over the summer. This was the summer of 2017. And so as we were renovating this, we were thinking about how we can incorporate a swing dancing club into our ministry or as a part of our church, an extension of what our church could offer to the community, because that's kind of our vision and goal, is to really bring families and community together in so many different ways. And so when we were renovating the church, we were tearing out carpeting and we put in a beautiful new floor in the sanctuary, and we were keeping in mind how this might work for a beautiful dance floor. And so it just kind of became part of the renovation of the church and a vision.
I was going to say that vision, and for those of you, obviously I would like for you to investigate into this, and there's a lot of things where you can find out where this is located on Bond Street here in Janesville. And I know that the floor is just incredible for dancing, and the fact that it has a larger space. So those of you who are listening, at the end we'll tell you where you can tap into this and get the actual location. Swing dancing. There you go. I mean, this goes in my life back to the time when we used to watch Dick Clark.
Oh.
And so, I mean, as a young person, that was my go-to thing. And growing up dancing, we called it rock and roll, Dick Clark, and watching all what they did. And obviously, you can tune into YouTube right now and see some of the horrendous kind of dancing that they do, which is kind of funny, because I talk frequently about the stroll, and people go, what is the stroll? But I find it interesting that all of a sudden now swing dancing is coming back again. What do you think that's about? What have you learned in the process of creating this wonderful event at the Renaissance Church?
Resonate Church.
Thank you.
Yes, it is actually coming back. The swing dancing community is actually really huge. Once you start going to some dances, you realize that people just love swing dancing, and people of all ages, young teens all the way, to older people love it. And it's something that you can do with all ages. And once you find a swing dance and you go to it, you want to find more. And so we have people coming from Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, Monroe, Rockford, all around Rock County. and they just want to go to try out all the different dances because they're all going to be a little different. The floor is going to be different, the instructors are different, the crowd is different, the music's a little different. So it's really fun. It's really fun.
And for those of you who are listening, indeed, it is a lot of fun. So I've learned myself that you can just even be an observer if you don't want to get out there and dance. But what's interesting is, like you said earlier, all ages, just all different ages. And the fact of the matter that you don't have to be a professional. But what I found exciting is that I don't come with a partner.
Yep.
And
that's really
so
common.
It's available to me to dance who's ever out there, and which even makes it more exciting. I'm asking people, well, where did you come from? And I know that I've talked with individuals that have been from the Chicago area and so forth. But I've also learned, like you said earlier, that there's a diversity of where swing dances are taking place right now. And so if you were to tell any of the listeners right now something you would like them to know, what would you share with them right now in terms of what's available?
For the swing dancing that we offer? So our swing dancing is currently what we offer right now is just our second Saturday swing on the second Saturday of every month. It's from 7 to 9. And we have a free lesson at the beginning that's included in your admission for about 45 minutes. And then the rest of the evening is open dancing. Till 10. 7 to 10. I don't know why I said 7 to 9. 7 to 10. So then it's just open social dancing. And like you said, you don't have to come with a partner. You can come by yourself. And you'll find that the atmosphere is just so much different than maybe like a club scene or a bar scene. You don't have to feel weird about dancing with multiple people or someone asking you to dance, because everybody here loves dancing. And they want to dance with as many people as you can, because that's how you learn best. And that's how you get better at it, and you learn different styles, and it's just really amazing.
Well, and I know in my own experience that I've watched some of the individuals dancing, and very enjoyable to see some of the professionals, and then those that have learned to dance, and that I've seen them frequently come back, and the fact that there's younger people that get out on the dance floor and just have a great time. And so let's go right back to the beginning. What interested you? Why were you involved in swing dancing when you said you went down to Rockford?
Well, I've always loved dance in general, just all kinds of dance, any kind of dance. I love dance. I used to actually choreograph a dance team for one of the churches I was involved in for quite a few years back, and we would just get a group of people together, and we'd do a dance every 3-4 months on our Sunday morning service, and it was just really fun. I was a figure skater in high school.
There you go.
So that has a lot to do with dance and just, being active and fit and having fun and choreographing things. So I just have always loved that. And I don't even remember how we found out about the swing dance down in Rockford, but we both love dancing, both me and my friend, and we decided let's go check it out, and we were hooked the very first time that we went. We had multiple people asking us to dance, and we were both new to, the actual swing style of dance.
Sure.
So even just that first evening, we learned so much.
Well, and I think that's what makes it fun, because I know that for a lot of people, they can't afford to go and take official Arthur Murray or whatever kind of dancing, but for here, you can learn Johnny on the spot, and like you said earlier, you have that beginning where you can actually do the dance lesson, which I have observed is really great, and the instructors have been good. Well, I can tell you are in shape, and with saying that, for those of you who are listening, this young lady that I'm talking to, she also does some other things that I found fascinating. I kind of researched her a little bit more on Facebook to find out some areas, and I'm also interested in those, even though I'm a little bit older. Do you want to share with me one of the projects that you'll be doing today, the group that's coming in?
So tonight, actually, I'm going to be co-leading La Leche League of Rock County, which is a breastfeeding support group that started in 1956, and it's become an international organization now. And so we just represent a small chapter, which is the Leche League of Rock County. So there'll be a group of mothers that will come out tonight, whether they're pregnant or have new babies, then just get support and information that they need to successfully breastfeed.
I think that's really wonderful for the simple reason that more females need that kind of support.
They do.
And for those of you, again, who are listening, my children are a lot older, but I had the great opportunity to also breastfeed my children. But I didn't have that kind of support where I could go to an organization at the time where I was living. And what, for our listener, what would you like to get across that could help in general, anyone that you find women need to know? What would be the most helpful to them?
In regards to breastfeeding?
Yes.
Well, the number one reason why moms fail at breastfeeding is lack of support and information. It's not because their bodies fail them or that they're not capable of successfully nursing, but there's a lot of misinformation just culturally. We live more in a bottle feeding culture, so most women, a lot of women don't even know anyone who is breastfeeding or at least has successfully breastfed. So just finding a community of women that are knowledgeable, that are facing some of the same struggles and successes, and sharing those together is really the number one thing. Getting connected. Because a lot of young moms, too, won't even know maybe other moms that are even, at the same stage of parenting that they are.
I think that that's important, having the support system, because I even know in my own life, I didn't have that, so I would dial up the number and start asking questions, and I had read some things, but having that support is so meaningful, specifically when things go wrong. In other words, my milk is not coming through, what is happening? Why is it when I go in the grocery store and all of a sudden I hear a child crying and my milk drops?
Yes.
Which I think we all have experienced, because the breasts don't know another child from your child.
Hormone connection right there.
Yeah, the hormonal connection, exactly. Right. But I think, do you see that more and more individuals are wanting to do more of the health scene, or how do you title that? In other words, do they have education in the hospitals, or?
Well, in the hospitals, it depends. It depends on from region to region, hospital to hospital, how much education they are offering to moms. It really does. It's not a straightforward thing, across the board. So some hospitals are doing better than others, but I would say they're just very limited too on the amount of time that maybe they're able to commit to spending with those moms. So I think, as mothers, we need to look elsewhere outside of what, the medical system can offer, something more long-term and comprehensive.
And I think that, again, is so important. So if anyone would like to get a hold of your club, how do they find you?
So you can go online and Google La Leche League International, and they'll connect you with a local chapter. And we're on Facebook as well, and try to do, a lot of local advertising.
Okay, so they can get the time and the place and how often you meet. And this is a year-round organization?
Yes, we meet monthly. We meet currently once a month.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. So right away in my mind, because I know that some things are kind of controversial in terms of a mother needing to breastfeed. And I know that in my own life, in that experience, what I found out is sometimes you just have to be able to be available to feed your child, because the breasts become very uncomfortable. And so what would you say to a mother that is just starting out, that's very active, and her breasts fill up full of milk in between? What would you say, kind of something that could help her out, something that information would be available to her?
Well, I think first of all, it's really important for us to recognize the fact that breastfeeding is a relationship. So our bodies are going to give us cues, and the babies are going to be a big major factor in cueing us, you know. So in those early days and weeks, it's really important that we stay really close with our babies, and be attentive to what their cues are telling us and being attentive to our own bodies. So one of the nice things that I really appreciate about nursing is that it really forces us as busy moms to sit down and rest and let our bodies heal
I
from
think that's
just having a
important.
baby.
That's important.
In those early days and weeks when our milk supply needs to build up and our babies need to gain weight, when we keep momming babies together and connected, no matter what you're doing or where you're going, and not separating the two, is really going to help both mom and baby be healthy long term. So whether you're going to the store or going to a party or going to church or wherever you're going, just staying close and staying connected with your baby, nursing on cue, is going to be the biggest factor.
I want the listeners to hear that, nursing on cue and being close, because I do know that for many individuals that I have viewed and observed that are in the public eye and they're on the go, and I've noticed that, you know, they're getting their makeup done, they're getting their hair done, and they're nursing because they got to go on stage in a very short time. So keeping the baby close.
Yeah, that's really
keeping
important.
the baby close.
It
and, you know, there, hopefully the listeners will follow through and pick up on some of the direction here with the website and what you have available, because I think that's so important in terms of, I'm just a strong advocate of nursing. So what else do you do that's on that line to help a female in terms of motherhood? What else is this that you do?
Well, I've always been interested in health at a very young age, so took a great interest in just healthy eating and holistic health and organic foods and just keeping my body healthy. Once I got pregnant, I really started delving more into looking into a healthy pregnancy, healthy childbirth, you know, the breastfeeding topic, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm by nature an educator, a leader, an advocate, so started teaching natural childbirth classes after the birth of my first baby, and started attending births for labor support. So I'm a professional labor assistant as well. Some might know that term as a doula. So I attend births, whether it's at a home birth or a hospital birth or wherever, in support of the mom and dad. And then also throughout the postpartum period, I go to their home and help them adjust to all of the different changes and things that we need as new moms, and that's something that's definitely missing culturally. We don't embrace that time as we should, or other cultures really understand the importance of having support and help.
I think that, again, that's so important, because there's so many things that happen. I know, and looking back at my experience, of course I wasn't in a location where I could get a lot of support. I lived on the Navajo Indian Reservation. So I counted on just the camaraderie of the women on the reservation, where we all lived together, and everyone was at a different age. But I think having that support when you first bring that child home, and having somebody that can answer your questions, and knowing that somebody is available. But I also wanted to bring in, there's something that I have learned since I've had my children, and that is birthing in water.
Water birth.
Water birth, yeah. I find that fascinating.
Most of my children have been born in the water.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is so fascinating.
Well, it's a natural thing,
Well,
you know.
absolutely.
They're going from water to water. So
Absolutely.
the birth for them is more normal and natural, and just the ease of delivery, and it's water is naturally calming to our muscles and relaxes them, so it's nicer for the mom too when she's laboring.
So interestingly enough, I do, you know, I have seen photographs, I have read a little bit about it. Can you just kind of give me a little outline, like what's the temperature of the water, and you know, generally speaking, if a mother is having hard labor, do you have to warm the water up, or just kind of throw me in a little scenario of what to expect?
Well, there's lots of different options that you have. So in our area, there really isn't any place that offers a water birth in the hospital. So most of the women in our area that are having a water birth are having home births to do that. And you can rent tubs that have heaters in them to keep
Oh,
the
wow.
temperature perfect. Or if you don't have one that has a heater in it, then you just keep adding warm water. But the temperature just needs to be our normal body temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, not too hot or not too cold. And moms tend to oftentimes relax in the water while they're laboring, and some will end up delivering in the water, and some will get out before they deliver. It really just is all up to mom and what's comfortable for her and what she feels the need to do.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I kept envisioning the birthing of the baby coming out into the water. And so...
And some are.
And so that baby has a natural instinct to, as it comes out in the water, I mean, that's probably like seconds or...
Well, so the delivery itself is a lot easier on the mom, and the baby because of the buoyancy of the water and the warmth and the natural relaxation that occurs when you're in the pool. So the delivery seems a lot easier, and the baby is living in amniotic fluid,
Right.
So the baby's not using its lungs yet. So the baby's not breathing in the water per se. The baby's getting all of its oxygen through the cord. So once that baby is born into the water, then we bring that baby up slowly in a nice, just natural progression. And once that baby gets put on mom's chest and then hits the air for the first time, then you'll see a few seconds later that baby will take its first breath.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That, to me, I'm just sitting here listening to that and I'm getting all excited. And
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing because people don't think about the natural process of all that. And just that connection. And I've seen some beautiful photographs of
there are
individuals that have birthed naturally and also in the water and so forth. So kudos to you for pursuing that and continuing with the education and taking care of the body and things like that. I think that is so important because in my own life, I found that I was jogging at the time. I was a jogger, and I did a lot of running. And we're talking like 48 years ago. My doctor would not authorize me to run after 6 months because they did not have the information.
Sure. Yeah, we've come a long way.
And we have come a long way.
We know that moms need to be fit because
Exactly.
childbirth is an athletic event. So
Absolutely.
if moms aren't healthier, it's going to be harder on their body.
And I think that's so important, too. There's so many things a woman can do. Well, you know what? I just get excited, talking to you here about the dancing and the liachi and the birthing and looking at you. I mean, for those of you that are listening, she looks extremely young. And how many children do you have?
I have 10 children.
Oh, really?
My youngest is just turned 9 months, and my oldest will be 20 in a few months here.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my... Well, I'm smiling from ear to ear because I only thought you had 3 children, but you added some children on here. And so you are quite the mom, for sure. Well, yay for Mother's Day.
Right.
Woo, woo, woo. I don't know. Well, you've really upped the game here for me because I didn't see that one coming.
Most people don't.
Well, I think that as we had talked earlier, education and having the support just makes a whole lot of difference in mothering. And
It does. Education is power.
Absolutely. And I agree with you on that. And so I could just talk to you all day, but because we're on a time schedule here today, you have a class coming up. I'd like to kind of shift gears here and direct kind of a phasing out. And again, we are here, Mindful Mondays. This is Esther Turner. We're talking to Bobbie. And we are talking about a variety of things. But I'm going to throw out one of my standard questions because you seem so youthful. But we're just going to date you back. If you were to tell your younger self, Anything you would like your younger self to know? Words of wisdom. What would you tell your younger self?
There's definitely a lot of things I
Okay.
would tell my younger self, but and I don't even know that any of the things that I would tell my younger self would be things I didn't know. It would just be to reinforce the things that I did know in my life, because I have a lot of faith in my Creator, and I think I would just remind myself to trust Him no matter what. And more than anything that I could tell myself is to realize that it's the life experiences and the trials and the tough things that I'm going to go through that are really going to shape me into the person that God wants me to be.
There you are. Quite beautiful. I think that very well said. And so I look forward to seeing you again at the next dance class.
I do too.
And I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy, busy, busy schedule, now that I know that you have 10 kids, for talking with me today. So
Well, thank you, Esther. What an honor.
Well, it was an honor for me also to speak with you. So thank you so much. And again, this is Esther Turner with Mindful Mondays. And we look forward to putting this up so everyone can listen to it. And you take care. And again, have a wonderful, wonderful month of